and we can see here the profile and just the CNC machining on it. Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and Matt Jenkins has joined me again as we build a BD11.
Yep, looking forward to it.
This is episode 3, so we've covered the driveline, the spool, the diff, the bulkheads are on. Now we're up to step 9, which is battery posts going in onto suspension ball studs and get it start looking like a touring car. So thanks for joining us, guys. Let's get stuck into it, Matty. What are we up to?
Some battery posts.
Battery posts.
Alright, so we need to use our gauge to grab some screws.
Yep, here we go. I got this. I got the screws.
You got the screws.
You tell me what we need. We've got the instructions there.
Alright, we need a M3x12.
M3x12 countersunk.
Countersunk, yes.
Yep, M3x12 in bag number 3. Here we go. Bag, I've got my little scale here because unfortunately when I packed up last time I may or may not have mixed up some screws. So what are you're very quiet over there, Matt.
Yes, I know, sorry, just getting into the build.
I know, right? How's it all coming together so far?
Yeah, look, I think it's, as per the manual, I think it's gone quite well so far. The belts look fine. You know.
The low friction white belts are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, they look good. They make it look smart. So
got our new work mat out. It's going well for us.
Everything's matte.
Everything's matte. That's right. Matte carbon, blue matte.
Matte carbon. Yeah,
it's fantastic,
we
mate.
Probably need a bit of new material though, don't we?
I know.
All right, we need an M3x8 screw as well.
M3x8. That'll be in bag number 2, mate.
Buttonhead.
Oh, buttonhead. You're throwing curveballs at me already.
Yes, that's right.
That'd be in bag number 7.
Let's grab the.
What are we after?
The vernier, please.
Here you go.
Thank you. So
You notice that we've got a mechanical vernier out here.
No flat batteries.
No flat batteries, that's right. There's nothing worse than picking up your vernier and having a flat battery.
So with this bag, just be careful. There's 2.5mm and 2mm spacer washers.
Yep.
So you need one of each. If you've got a nice level pit mat like this,
yeah, nice,
pretty easy to tell them
which
apart.
one's 2 and which one's 2.5.
But if you're not quite sure, just grab a set of verniers and
measure them up.
Measure them up. That's right. So one of each.
Do you need Loctite or anything on these suckers? No.
I don't. Depends on your battery position at this stage. You might want to do it later.
My cars tend to take a hard time and sort of start to rattle loose after the 3rd or 4th impact.
Yeah, I like to get a battery in first, and then perhaps
retension everything.
Give it a tweak.
What are you after, mate?
2mm, please, sir.
You would think I can't see the forest for the trees at the minute.
Oh, I thought we put the 2mm out. There we go.
I'm sure that we would have. We've got our finest 9 steps little toolkit here. We've added to. Got some Aromax on the table. So 2.5mm. We've got our tapered washer.
So a couple of really, really very small shims either side of the bearing. So just be careful.
Oh, is this the front bearing guide as well, or rear bearing?
Rear bearing guide, yes.
Rear bearing guide.
As well as a battery post. So yes, just a little bit fiddly.
I can hear the concentration, mate.
Yes.
I can hear it. I can hear the wheels turning.
The gears meshing.
Yep. Talking about gear mesh, we've got a 64 tooth spur in here.
64 pitch.
Yeah, not 64 tooth, 64 pitch. That's right. Yep. Axon one.
There we go.
We may or may not be building it for a spec class.
Yes.
That's undetermined yet.
It's a secret, isn't it? Who's the owner of this car?
That's right. The team driver doesn't know that it's theirs.
So we've got a rear post there.
Rear post.
And we need a M3x10. Sorry.
M3. What are we looking at? Screws.
Screws. M3x10. Countersunk.
Countersunk. Yep. Bag number 3, my friend.
And an M3x6 for the front.
One.
And
a 6mm for the front. In countersunk?
Correct.
Alright.
So we'll put the front one on.
There you go. A couple of screws for you, mate.
Thank you, sir.
So the BD11. Looking good, huh?
Yes.
What do you think your favourite feature? You've built a couple of these now. What do you think your favourite feature of the kit is?
When we get to the arms.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just really, really nice to put together.
Yep.
They actually, and it's probably the biggest difference, or as I've always said, it's quite the departure from the previous cars.
Yep.
You know, and it's a different technique of building too. Normally you don't assemble an arm.
No.
All right. Normally you just get an arm that's a molded piece.
Yep.
Put some screws in and away you go.
Is that right to have a longer screw there?
Yeah, I'm just looking. Does it go on the rearmost or the second rearmost? It's the rearmost.
We're going to run a full-size pack in this one.
Yes, we are. 1, 2, 3.
Bit of a trend lately with running shorties or playing around with configurations in your TC. What's your take on it all?
I run standard packs, the standard full-length packs.
Yep.
I just find I like the weight distribution.
Yep.
I'm not as good as some of those other guys, I guess.
No. But when you're running multiple cars and multiple classes, it helps if it's a little bit more uniform, yeah?
But if you're running off-road and on-road as well as TCR,
yeah.
TCR you're on shorties.
Yeah.
But if you happen to run off-road as well, it's handy to use or maintain the batteries that you've already got.
That's right.
Alright, so we have...
Where does the bearing in the top there go? That's a bit weird.
Oh, well, if we take a look at the top deck, you'll see there's a great big hole in the middle of it.
Yep.
At the rear.
Well, this is a new feature.
If we just move the belts out of the way, you can see it sits and it moves as a pivot.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, very cool.
There we go.
Alright,
what else are we looking at?
Now we're putting the pivot ball studs on. So we're looking for bag number 8, and we get up to the really interesting bit which we just spoke about, was the new arms.
I can get the car out of the way for a minute.
So the steps to put the actual ball studs on the chassis at the moment.
So we need the chassis, is that what you're saying?
Yes, we do. And we need...
Say it, mate, just say it.
And we need some M3x8 countersunk screws, please.
Countersunk screws?
8 of them, please.
8? That's going to nearly empty my bag. 2, 4, 6, and 8. There we go. I'll let you have those ones.
Thank you. So in this bag, you'll notice some really big seat or E-clips, and they're to go on the top of the pivot ball cup.
The cup, so like all clips together, huh?
Yep, that's right. So this step's relatively simple. It all sits on 1.5mm spacer washers.
Yep, all the same front and rear.
All the same front and rear, except the back with the
D block.
The amendment to the instructions.
The amendment, the fast guy setup.
Correct.
So we put this as well. Oh no, we put this instead of. Uh huh. So that must be a late production amendment. You reckon?
Yes.
Which is good because it sort of utilises a part from the old kit as well, I suppose.
Sorry,
so if you've got these from your previous BD10.
These 9-steps tools are nice and new.
They're very new, aren't they? They can sort of make it a little bit tricky sometimes, but I like to do a new build with new tools.
I don't put tools in these ones, I forgot. These are actually got a cup on the bottom of them for a
cup for a spanner.
Yeah, a little spanner.
Yeah?
Yep. And 2mm.
What are we looking for?
2mm.
Yep. There we go.
We'll get
Look at that.
We'll get there.
Well, we'll get there one where... How nice does that chrome look on there?
Very shiny.
Those Molotov pens or something else.
Alright, so just a little tweak. Nice little Aramax tool there.
5.5mm box wrench. I suppose that makes it handy as well if you are adjusting your roll centres, you can get that in there.
Yes, you don't have to disassemble the whole car. So, do the same all the way around.
Except for the back.
Except for the
or
rear.
the D block or the rearmost. What do they call them here? They don't call them, obviously, blocks I'm tipping on
well,
this
there's no
car.
blocks anymore.
No blocks.
Blocks are gone. So, yeah, there's no FR, FF.
NA. Is it? In the off-road terminology seems a little bit... Well, most people have adopted the A, B, and C and D.
That's
pivot
right.
block or pivot points. And it's pretty easy to remember from front to rear.
Correct.
Because all arms pretty much pivoted at those points.
Yep.
I'll do something useful, mate, and I'll hold the car.
Instead of just looking good.
Yeah. Well,
So
you know what happens when the camera goes on, mate?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
You turn into a different animal.
That's right.
So important that these are done up relatively tight.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I suppose you don't want them to rattle loose.
Don't want them to rattle loose, but I also wouldn't put Loctite on them.
No?
Because if you want to change your roll centre, then
You're going to make it hard for yourself.
you're going to make it very, very hard for yourself. So with the right tools, I've run the car half a dozen times now, and I haven't had any of the pivot balls come loose at this stage.
Yeah, but you haven't let me drive it yet. Admittedly.
I won't. You're right.
These tools are very new, aren't they?
They are very new. And even with the pivot balls, the old habit of putting the driver into the top, I fell into that trap just a moment ago, but
I can't even be sure that I'm putting these in the right place.
I'll soon tell you.
I know. I like to hear about my deficiencies, as other people that I build kits with soon pointed out.
I'm a bit more polite than...
No need for politeness, mate. Just tell me how it is. I can handle it.
Big shoulders?
I'm here to learn.
Big shoulders?
Well, I'm here to learn.
Yeah, okay.
This is why we've got the pros in helping with these kits, because, yeah, mate, you can do the torque settings on that. Did I put it in the right hole?
Yes. Funnily enough, you did.
That was a good guess, wasn't it? And this is all practice for me one day, maybe to finally build my own.
Build your own?
You never know.
Well, hopefully we give you the right advice.
And everybody else too.
I'm sure the comments will come flooding in.
Once we get something wrong.
Correct.
Look at that. Get this out the way for you, mate.
Still making yourself useful.
That is
Good.
so neat.
So it's interesting when you're putting this together. I guess the weight of the blocks are gone.
Yep.
There's a couple of things I guess dynamically about the car that's changed from previous models. With the weight of the blocks gone, the arms are slightly heavier than a standard arm.
Yep.
But that's turned into unsprung weight now. So
That's right.
yeah, so dynamically the car does feel different. There is a little bit to relearn when you start driving
Yep.
these cars with the longer arms. They do behave a little differently.
Are we missing a screw? No,
No,
I just misplaced it.
just trying to hide.
I was I'm sure I counted 8, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh, precision.
Absolute. Should have been a surgeon.
I actually said it about BJ. You should see the guy's painting skills. If you're not like,
Insane.
yeah, absolutely insane. Does it under like a microscope, pretty much.
So the rear, you don't need to put a washer on, so you can be a little bit
Just put it on like half a turn or something to capture it.
haphazard.
Nothing haphazard here, mate. This is a controlled environment.
Completely controlled. Temperature controlled.
That's right. Humidity controlled.
Yes.
The only thing that's unhinged here is,
Probably you.
eh?
That moustache.
That's right. No, that's in place, mate.
In
That is
place.
in situ at the moment.
Right.
It's
Well
not,
groomed.
Not frazzled yet.
Still well groomed.
Wait till we get to step 8 and see how we go. Might be looking a bit dishevelled. No, I'm sure that this will actually be a really easy build. Comprehensive build, but an easy build.
So this part, as you can see, it really doesn't look like we've done much. It's taken a little bit of time, but it's quite fiddly because the parts are so small. There we go.
Now, some people have or have not put alloy countersunk in under those.
That's right. So
And they do that for the reason that to preserve the integrity of the chassis if it's in a big knock.
Yeah, that's right.
So create a fuse.
Yeah. So I guess with the blocks, you've got a larger surface area.
Yeah.
Across the chassis to actually soak up impact and soak up impact as well.
And it was held down by a dowel and 2 screws.
Correct.
So a lot more, like I said, surface area.
So at the moment you've got a small screw with a 3mm hole with a pivot ball on it.
Yeah.
Taking the load.
And countersunk through a 2.2 mil chassis.
That's right. So yeah, countersinking in a mechanical sense is a lead-in that actually promotes something going through.
Yep.
If you have a big impact. So unfortunately with chassis, it's just the way it is. You've got to have a nice flat surface to have underneath your car.
Yep.
It's just the nature of the beast.
It's just a fundamental design concept.
Yep, correct.
There we go.
All right.
But we're going steel. All right. We'll call that one done. Well, what are we doing now? Can I see plastic bits going on? Is that what I saw?
I'm sorry?
Did I see the plastic bits getting popped on?
Like you can pop the caps on?
But you don't like to?
Well, I usually pop them through the arm because it's easier to push the arm on.
Right.
Okay.
Shut up, Brett. Right.
Don't follow instructions.
No.
We are men.
That's why we're building it with you. That's why we're building it with you.
Oh.
So it gets done right. Oh, look at that.
And that's, I guess, the other thing about the build.
I'm going to zoom up here. I'm going to upset the cinematographer.
Do we have a knife while you... So that's the other thing.
I zoomed right in here.
These arms are a lot stronger
than
a conventional plastic moulded arm.
I've got it like macroed in. We can see, again, they've gone with a matte carbon. And we can see here the profile and just the CNC machining on it. It is a thing of beauty. How thick are they? Have you measured them up?
No, I haven't actually.
It's absolutely beautiful.
These side cutters are great, mate. Don't need to trim any of the burrs off.
Well, that's 9 Steps finest, mate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
Anything else? Rightio. No, very nice. So with these parts, particularly the droop screw receptacle here, at this stage I pre-fit all these parts.
You can see this little foraging of all these plastic parts. Sorry mate, I was just zoomed right in having a look at that arm, trying to show people what they're all about.
So at this stage you can see this is a tiny little plastic part. It gets dropped into a recess in the arm on all of the arms.
Let's zoom in and have a look. Here you go. Get that on there, mate.
You can see the recess there.
Yep.
Just here. Okay, so it's really important that the parts are trimmed correctly.
Yep.
And that they drop in nicely. So
now there's a couple of trains and thoughts on building these, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it gluing and ungluing and that sort of thing?
That's right. So the instructions do suggest
the gluing. Yep.
I've built 2 of these cars now, one with glue, one without.
Yep.
And I can't tell the difference. Can't tell the difference.
Can't tell the difference. I suppose the proof is in the pudding, maybe under some long-term testing.
Yeah. Look, I think maybe the parts could stretch, or if you have a big collision, maybe they could bend out of shape, because sometimes the screws, you've got a little screw holding a large screw.
Yep.
Oops, sorry. So you've got a little screw that runs through here to hold a large droop screw.
Yep.
But if you glue them in and they do stretch, you can't replace them if they're glued in.
That's right.
Right, so you can buy this parts tree.
The parts tree, that's right.
And you can replace all the plastic parts on the arm if you want to. So if you happen to strip a thread that holds one of the shocks on, it's quite easy to replace if it's not glued.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's exactly right.
But each to their own. You know, some folks might like to glue them.
Are we gluing them today?
No, we won't be gluing these ones.
No?
No, this is going on a 21.5 spec class car.
Yep.
And the driver of this car probably drives better than me, but he's known to have the accident or two.
Don't we all?
All right.
Don't we all?
So we need some screws.
What screws do we need? I'm your screw guy.
You're the screw guy. So we need M2.5. Yes, M2 by 6.
Yep. Bag number 14. Here we go. They love their 2.6s, don't they? The Yokomos. Put these in the off-road cars as well. How many of those do we need?
Just tip them all out, mate.
Oh, alright.
We'll tip them all out.
Yes, boss?
Thank you, sir.
What can I do to help?
So you could probably
I can do something
trial
here.
fit. Just trial fit all those. Make sure they sit nice and flush.
Sitting flush. Sitting pretty.
Sitting pretty.
And if I don't, we've got our handy little nippers over there, mate. If I can just on those. Clean these parts
You can
up.
blame the trimmer.
That's alright. I wouldn't do that, Matt.
So you just run your hand over it, your finger over it like this. It's nice and flush. The screw can go straight in.
It really is a precision fit, isn't it?
Yep, it's really nice. The machining's exceptional, actually, of that recess. I mean, it's not. Now we're talking about 10th scale here. It's everything's so small, and all the clearances have to be really, really spot on.
And yeah, and you are talking of hundreds. No, you're not talking tenths of millimeters.
No, you're right.
I don't think we're at microns yet, but you never know.
Oh well, they'd probably measure some of it in microns.
Look at that, get that in there.
Now the front and rear arms are different, and it's really, you cannot fit, I don't think you can fit the wrong parts to each of the arms. So what I'm fitting there now is the roll bar receptacle.
Yep.
And the lower pivot, the lower mount for the shock.
Okay.
So it's a little receptacle there, and they get 2 different screws, I think, from memory.
What screws are we looking at, mate? I'll be your screw guy.
M2x6.
M2x6 countersunk.
No.
Button heads. M2.
One is countersunk, I think. Hold on.
14. Well, I've only got 3 of them left.
So M2x6.
BH26, yes, that's a button head.
And then an
BH26.
and then one countersunk, the same size, M2x6 countersunk.
Well, I hope not, because I've only got 3 of those screws left. And it's probable that I've lost one.
We'll make it work.
We always do.
Yeah, we'll make it work. So they were M2x6, yeah?
Yep. Or potentially not. Let's have a look at these ones. Have a look at these ones. I'm really letting the team down at the minute.
Pressure's on.
I know, right? I'm cracking. Here you go. That is the one there. What have I got? This little plastic part here.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very cool, isn't it? So just make sure
Wow.
they go on, front and rear do get different screws, so if you've got the same arm as me, one's a...
Yeah, it's got a... The countersunk milling through the carbon fibre should give it away.
Absolutely. I was
Yeah.
just making sure it is early in the morning. Still.
It is still early in the day. Wouldn't be the silliest thing I've done today. Close. What's going on? Don't go quiet on me.
You managed to get out of bed this morning. You got out of the right side of bed.
Stepping. Here we are.
And then
Little button head.
2x6s.
Tiny little screws, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you really don't want to be too heavy-handed on these and go stripping them,
No, just tweak them up.
because they will...
They tweak up pretty quickly though. They bottom out nicely, and
Well, really good quality plastics. You can feel when they're home, that's for sure.
that's right.
There we go. How's it looking?
Looking great. So, and remembering this is the where we capture the ball for the pivot, for the lower roll bar. And they snap in like so.
Snappy, snappy.
Yeah.
This one here's 2 button heads.
Yeah, the front arms are different. Or the rear arms, one or the other. Can't quite remember which is which now. We'll get there.
We will definitely get there.
We'll make it.
We are mowing through this.
Yep.
I'm going to zoom. Is this the last part of this multi-piece arm? There's
No,
more.
There's more.
Wait.
But wait. No free steak knife.
Is that the little sway bar link?
Yep. But wait, there's more.
Oh, some alloy goodness going in there.
So,
What?
so M2.556, I think, which was what you got out of
Yeah,
there.
I got those out. I knew they were coming.
So, with these arms, obviously we need a pin to go through to hold the
The caster block.
caster block on. So these are machined alloy.
Let's jump in there and have a look. Oh,
Yeah, the shot. There we go. So they just fit on the recess there. Front and rear are different, so that's actually the wrong one. You can see the two different sizes.
yes.
Front and rear are slightly different. They get screwed on now as well.
Onto the arm.
Onto the arm.
Like so. Du-du-du-du-du. Well, we had a moment.
Wrong screw.
It was electric. Did you feel it?
Yes. Some static.
Ah, so the pins. Right.
So it does end up with a pivot pin like a traditional arm when you're finished.
You've got the 2mm, mate.
1.5. 1.5.
Ah, sorry, I thought they were 2mm.
1.5.
There we go. Dude, oh, it's all very quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Concentration.
Concentration.
I know.
It's
I can
intense.
feel it, the energy. These are so left of field, aren't they?
Yep. Even the when you get the sway bar on, or the roll bar, whichever you'd prefer to call it, it runs underneath the arm. So that's actually the top face of the arm, and the pivot comes from underneath the arm.
Underneath.
Underneath.
Doesn't it like hang out and then get caught and break?
Not so
and-
far. Not
Really?
So, not so far. Even at our little track in Bendigo.
Have you hit a dot yet?
Yeah, I hit everything.
Yeah.
That's my style. That's it. I feel my way around the track.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like Braille.
Yeah, I feel my way around. I better
Don't
do some,
think,
I'll do
feel.
some more.
Alright.
I'll do some more.
Enough
Rather
of the
than-
antics
Yeah,
and
yeah.
more of the building.
Less of the feeling away around the track.
I know. Alright.
Actually, shouldn't have graduated from.
I've never actually assembled an arm like this.
So this is, as I said, it's really the big departure from a traditional build as such. We need to add our droop screws, so they are M4x8 set screws. M4x8, which
Right,
are
putting your acid on me again.
13,
M4x8 set screws. They are in bag 13.
12.
Oh, now you're going to blame me on lost bags.
Oh,
Here we go.
dear. I thought we were in order, Brett.
No, well we were, but I've been in there foraging around under pressure.
Alright, so
2.5.
remembering that that's the top of the arm,
Too much.
you've got to remember to put the droop screw in from the right side, and then just make sure it runs in nice and straight.
So they used the plastic insert and not the carbon.
Correct.
Obviously, because carbon doesn't thread the best, does it?
No. So what I do, there's no need to worry about the depth of the droop screw at this stage. I just
Yep.
usually run them so that they're flush.
All flush?
All flush, so you've got a standard setting for when we start to adjust the droop setting.
Now, surely that's going to be the last thing in the arm.
Yeah, I believe so. Until we
Well,
start
wait.
adding C-hubs and other bits and pieces. So we will be adding the hub to the car now.
let's come in here and have a look at the arm. High def. Look at
def.
that. So here we've got our sway bar, a sway bar link. You can see going through, and you're saying that is the top surface of the arm here, and this is the lower part. Is that right?
That's correct. Sorry, we're having another moment there.
That's okay.
Electric.
And this is where the droop screw goes through here.
Yep. So I'll add that now.
You can do that one, and I'll pick up this one. It's got the droop screw in there. Super cool. And this has got the alloy hinge pin retainer in it for either the rear hub or the front hub, whichever way obviously the arm's going on. Beautiful.
Okay, so we have assembled some really lovely looking carbon arms.
Wow, I have.
Well, you have, yes.
You've been here coaching me.
I've just done nothing, that's right.
No, you've been coaching me.
Coaching? Okay. So now we can drop them on the chassis.
Rightio. Chassis.
So this step,
Does it take some grr?
it takes a little bit of oomph.
Bit of grr.
A little bit of oomph.
Yeah?
And you need
What's
to
your
get,
favourite bit?
you need to get the front and rear arms around the right way. Okay,
So this is the front of the car.
Yep. So, where are we?
Droop screws should indicate all.
Yep. I'll just make sure we've got the right. We haven't put the grub screw in for the arm for the lower shock mount yet, but we can do that later. So,
If you say so, boss.
if you say so. So I put the little cups in. At this stage, I put the little cups into the arm, and then it's a fair bit of force to pop that cup. You're missing cups. Oh, you're just lining up.
I'm just making sure, mate. Just a bit of dummy fit for a dummy over here. Come
I'm
on.
going to stand up for this bit.
Are you?
Yes.
Give it heaps, mate. Give
Give it
it
heaps.
plenty.
Give it plenty.
Oh! Can you feel it?
Absolutely.
Thumbs of steel, this man. Come on.
The thumbs are too big to get into this spot.
Give it in there. Oh!
Feel that positive energy.
The little rat microphone's going to be having a hernia with the cracking of your knuckles. Is that your knuckles or is that the pivot ball?
That's the pivot ball going over the cup going over the pivot ball. You can do the rear ones.
Can I?
Oh, yeah.
You just want to see me struggle. He likes the pain.
I heard a bit of excitement.
Yeah.
Is everything alright?
No, it's alright, babe.
Snapping.
Snapping. Oh. Oh.
So some people like to oil the cups with a little bit of oil. I think that it might be a good idea, but depending on how much maintenance you do on your cars, it will just create pickup.
Yeah, that's right. And wear and grit and so forth.
That's right.
Is that what we're saying?
Correct. So after building a couple of these, I did leave the harder ones to you, Brett, at the back.
Now, I make it look easy.
You had your Wheat Bix this morning.
I had my Wheat Bix. I'm using a bit of a mechanical advantage here with Aromax leading the way. Get these little things in. Get this rear one on first.
You're not
Get
going
the
to be
front
happy.
one. What happened?
Are you sure you put the arm on the right way? It's fine. I'm kidding.
I was only going by the droop screws and my previous understanding of such things.
Some mechanical brilliance. You may
Struggling with that one?
may want to stand up.
I do want to stand up for these ones. The first one, I wore myself out, clearly.
Only 2 Wheat Bix worth this morning. There we go.
That one.
The whole place is shaking.
I know, right? I am going to pop. Something's going to pop in a minute.
A vein.
Yeah. I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it, but... Do you know who would be enjoying watching me struggle like this?
No.
Give you one hint.
One hint. A certain other builder. Is that on?
No,
No.
I didn't hear it go pop. I feels like I'm breaking something, but it's just that tight. Go on. Show me. Oh, I'm there with you. There, look.
In spirit.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Alright, so you use the arm as leverage to get the little cup on the pivot ball, but the arm is removable because we haven't put the clips on the top.
Yes. So this is a retaining clip.
That's right. So Not sure if we want to take an arm off.
No,
We don't? Okay.
I don't think we do.
Alright.
I don't think there's any
Any
good
need?
going to be coming of taking an arm off there, Matthew.
Rightio.
Seeing the struggles that we just had putting it on. So now we got set about putting the clips on, yeah?
Yep.
And launching them at will.
That's right. Cover your eyes. Safety glasses on.
No, they're actually really easy to put on.
They are.
Far easier than I thought.
Multi-
As I launch
it's a
one-
multi-purpose tool.
As I launch one across the studio. I'm just using click, click, click. These ones. They actually do just go together so nice, these kits.
And we just need to do the front two.
Over the top here. Here you go, mate.
I'll make myself useful.
No, you're still reveling the glory of popping that last clip on.
I know, mate.
I gave you the glory.
My manhood has stepped up a notch.
I know.
Thank you very
How
much,
good
Brett.
was it? I'm
Oh,
basking in the glory. I can feel the glow from here.
Yeah, absolutely. The afterglow.
And the driver of this car will be knowing that it's been put together right.
So it's starting to resemble something really cool.
Have a look at it.
They float really nicely.
They do, don't they? And there is zero
No movement.
movement in there. Like, not even a little bit. Like,
No. No float at all.
wow. Because even with a hinge pin, it's an inherent design
Correct.
fundamental
And
that there is a little bit of run out, a bit of float.
Yep.
This absolutely has nothing. And I'm sure time will tell. I know you've only had yours at the track a couple times, but being a press fit ball, I can only imagine that they wear very little.
Correct. Especially if there's no clearance. You know, so or very little clearance. But I think that's
You think we should call episode 3 there?
That should be episode 3.
Alright, so episode 3, we've taken it from just having the bulkheads on to assembling and showing the process of building these really unique carbon fibre arms.
And our battery mount. Oh,
The
battery
posts, belt guide. So yeah, that is really, really cool. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Even though I struggled a bit, it was worth every minute. Yeah, that is episode 3 of Matt and myself, Brett from Hearns, building the Yokomo BD11. Join us for episode 4 as we continue the build. Thanks Matt.
everyone. No worries, Brett.
Thanks everyone.
See ya.